Now at 6, Joplin firefighters respond to one of their own after a medical emergency. Plus,
the Jasper Fire Protection District says they're asking voters to approve a tax increase so they can stay staffed. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
And Freeman Business Center in Joplin sets the table for some healthy eating tips on this Diabetes Awareness Day.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A medical emergency puts a Joplin firefighter in the hospital. This is KOIM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Happened today during scheduled training exercises at the Joplin Public Safety Training Center. This is file video of that center. Authorities are not yet releasing details, including the name of the firefighter, but they say fellow firefighters provided immediate assistance on the scene. At last report, the firefighter was in the hospital listed in critical but stable condition. Look for updates on KOIMnewsnow.com. The Jasper, Missouri Fire Protection District is asking voters to approve a tax increase on April 8th. It would be the first tax rate increase for the district since 2015. KOIM Samantha Walker spoke with staff who say they're out of other options for funding.
Thanks, Dow. Since 2020, the Jasper Fire Protection District has used a FEMA grant to help pay for staffing. But that grant ended in 2024, and they were unable to renew it.
We tried for an extension, and there was no extension available, and the grant went away. And the current tax dollars won't fund that without some kind of help or an increase.
The Jasper Fire Protection District is asking voters to approve a property tax increase that would only pay for staffing. If passed, that increase would raise the tax rate by 30 cents per $100 of assessed property valuation, bringing the total to about 59 cents per $100.
We really hated to ask for this and still don't really want to ask for it, but we really have no choice. We've reached a breaking point to where there's just no other choice that we can come up with.
Good says the tax increase wouldn't pay for more staffing. It would allow them to sustain their current number of daytime staff. He says without other funding options, the district will likely have no choice but to close their doors during the day.
Which means we'll start missing calls as medical calls, car wrecks, fires, and what have you. There just won't be anyone here a lot of times to respond to it.
Jasper Fire serves roughly 126 square miles, and he says they're often the only ones able to get to scenes nearby quickly. If they don't have daytime staffing, he says it could take much longer for other departments to get to any emergency.
Most of our surrounding departments are in the same boat as we are. There's a lot of times we're on scene with a heart attack patient or some type of a medical emergency or a car crash for anywhere from 20 to sometimes 40 minutes to an hour before an ambulance arrives up in here. So without that, someone's going to have to sit there and wait for a prolonged time for help to arrive.
The district responds to both Barton and Jasper counties, so voters in both counties will see this question on their ballots. In Jasper, I'm Samantha Walker, KOIM News.
And again, voters are going to cast their ballots for or against the tax increase on April 8th. Miami, Oklahoma has a new police chief. The city announced today it's hired a 30-year career law enforcement professional, Stephen Sigmund, for the job. Sigmund is a native Oklahoman and most recently served in a number of positions with the St. Lucie County, Florida Sheriff's Office. Captain Todd Hicks had been the interim Miami police chief since the resignation of Thomas Hightower Anderson in November. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, another great day for us today. Temperatures fantastic into the 70s, and we stay mainly in the 70s the rest of the week, even pushing 80, if not a little bit above. Could get a few showers in here on Thursday, and then some thunderstorms trying to work in Saturday night into Sunday. Some of those could be a little bit on the stronger side, so we're going to keep our eyes on that over the next few days. 68 Joplin, 67 in Pittsburgh looks great. Mid to upper 60s, lower 70s once you get out across Kansas and also into Oklahoma. We slide back through the 60s, 50s, and then eventually bottom out 48 to about 50. Have a few little clouds kind of rotating through. We had a couple little sprinkles earlier, not that big of a deal. Slide back upper 40s by morning. You can see some thunderstorms to our south, but we go into the mid-70s for highs on Wednesday. We're going to look at the rest of the week here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. The Oklahoma Health Department confirms 7 of 9 reported cases of measles in the state. These cases were confirmed among unvaccinated individuals in northeastern Oklahoma specifically. Health officials also say all cases are linked through exposures to household or extended family, and initial cases reported exposure to the measles outbreak in West Texas and New Mexico. They say no cases have resulted from exposure to public settings, at least at this time. Diabetes awareness was the focus of a gathering at Joplin's Freeman Business Center today. The Freeman Diabetes Coordinator presented information about how to cook for 1 or 2 people. She also gave Freeman Advantage members tips for healthier meal planning and making good choices when grocery shopping.
The disease of diabetes, I hope it supports the people who have diabetes, because sometimes we just kind of feel alone with these chronic diseases. So today is about having a little bit of fun, gaining a little bit of knowledge, and just supporting one another.
This presentation was in recognition of Diabetes Alert Day and National Kidney Month. Last night's Elite 8 win for the women's basketball team has the student body at Pitt State fired up. Coming up, we're going to hear from some of those students. And later, the Gorilla men's basketball team also has something to cheer about. John Dales has details later in sports. Some people lost everything in a wildfire that tore through parts of Oklahoma this month. It can be hard to know how to help, but at least one business is doing what it can to ease the stress. Sharon Phillips has that story.
As the water slowly rinses away the soot and the ash smell left behind from the wildfires that stole her home, Ilea Stanfield is able to rest, even if just for a moment. On Friday, March 14th, she tells me she got a call from her husband about fire creeping towards their home. She says he desperately tried to hold back the fire using a garden hose, but the flames were too strong.
The moment it hit that tree line, everything went up. The moment it hit the house, it was about 30 minutes and the house was just gone in complete ashes.
This is all that remains of their house and the dream car they both worked so hard for. As she works to gain some sense of normalcy, Rumor Salon is working to help fire victims like Ilea feel a moment of peace.
One of the things that we can do is make someone feel a little bit better by getting them, pampered a little bit, giving them a good shampoo and a blow dry. That way they feel a little bit more like their normal selves.
The manager says her heart goes out to the community, and this is just one way they can give back.
You're going to come back smelling like smoke. You're going to come back smelling like ash, or if you're sifting through your life, you're going to smell like chemicals. There's just no way about it.
A simple act of service in a time of chaos, making all the difference in the world.
It's one of those moments, again, where you get to feel normal when you don't get to go back home.
Dozens of homes burned to the ground. Others had varying levels of damage. A little later, a standout Raider throws her softball skills behind NEO. John has her story coming up in sport.
Plus, the great temperatures are sticking around the next few days. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, for us today, turned out to be a nice one across the region. Temperatures low to mid 70s for afternoon highs. Still looking pretty good out there right now. Temperatures 68 in Nevada, 67 in Carthage, 68 in Miami. Look at Neodesha sitting at 70 degrees across the region, which, hey, we'll definitely take anytime we can get it. All right, going outside right now at 68. Northerly winds are light at about 5 miles per hour. Pressure is good, visibility is good. Looks like a pretty good evening if you want to get outside and enjoy it. Sliding back through the 60s into the 50s, eventually into the upper 40s. Now, through the day, we've had some clouds. You can see a few light little sprinkles and showers that have popped up on the radar, and we did get a couple quick little sprinkles and showers earlier today. All this is rotating off toward the south into the east. Big ridge of high pressure out west. Couple little waves are going to undercut this ridge, giving us at least chances for a little bit of rain once again as we get into Thursday morning, and then again as we head toward the weekend. All right, hour by hour. By morning, 48 Stockton, 50 Anderson, 50 in Veneta, 48 in Chanute. Let's call it partly sunny skies through the morning We will go into the mid to upper 60s by noon, but I actually think a great afternoon. We get some sunshine. I think most of us 73, 74, 75 degrees, maybe 77 in Grove, 73 in Chanute, Nevada, 71, Monette at about 71. We get a few clouds in here late tomorrow night and then heading into Thursday morning. A few hit and miss little showers popping up. May get a random thunderstorm Thursday morning as our warm front continues to shift through. But once we get into the afternoon, that takes all the clouds and any showers and thunderstorms well to the north. But in return for us, we warm up. Look at our highs, 80, 81, 82 degrees as we get into the afternoon hours. Thunderstorms stay to our north once again as we get into Friday morning. All right, day planner for you. This is going to be for your Wednesday. 48 to start, 67 by noon, high temp, 74 to 75 degrees during the afternoon. Let's go down the road. Let's go into the weekend. We do have the threat for showers and thunderstorms, especially after midnight on Saturday into Sunday morning. Greater severe threat, southeast Missouri back toward Jonesboro and Little Rock. We're kind of on the cusp where we could get some stronger storms, maybe a low-grade severe storm, but again, as of right now, being 4.5 days out, looks like it's mainly going to be to our east. A couple little showers scoot to our south on Friday, but most of Saturday looks pretty good. High temps right around 80, 81 degrees, and then we'll see if some hit-and-miss storms can develop after midnight. If they can, those will be some storms that could be a little bit stronger. 74 on your Wednesday, 80 on Thursday, 73 on Friday, 81 on Saturday. So kind of up and down, but temperatures looking great. And then only 52 on Monday, so quite a bit cooler, and then warming back up by the middle of next week. But temperatures this week look great.
Yeah, and a bit of rain is a good thing generally in the spring.
Yeah, not bad.
Thanks, Doug. Hey, Pitt State has a fever right now, and the only cure is a championship from the women's basketball team. The team beat Lubbock Christian in last night's Elite Eight matchup in the NCAA tournament in Pennsylvania, and the hot streak has the student body fired up for more.
Oh, it was so good. So boom, they put on the board. They said, first win, first champion since 2016, 2019. I was like, what? Coach Amanda, she is so good. Like, she really took the program from here to everyone does such a good job. Grace Pyle, Corinna Gerber, all of the starters, Macy James runs such an amazing offense. I feel like everyone truly plays their part, and each one of them really deserves this win. Like, they were fighting for it the whole season. Such a great thing to watch. I was so happy.
It's a great win for them, for the program. They've been working really hard this year, and it's fun. It's been fun supporting them, and as a football player, we try supporting all the sports we can.
Everybody's talking about this. Up next for Pitt State will be a matchup against Grand Valley State in the Final Four tomorrow night. Still-head Colgan High School baseball plays its first game of the year against Joplin, and a former Pittsburgh Purple Dragon commits to play basketball for the Gorillas. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
High school softball and baseball season are both just getting underway here in the four states, and the Frontenac High School softball team is the defending 3A state champion, and one of the players that helped lead the Raiders to that state title commits to play college softball this afternoon. Frontenac High School senior Avery Johnson signs her letter of intent today to continue her softball career at NEO. Johnson threw two separate shutouts as a pitcher for the Raiders in the state tournament last spring. The first against Trinity Academy, that was in the semifinals. Then later that same day against Silver Lake in the state championship game.
It just felt like home when I first went on a visit there, and I liked everything about it. I love the coaches, I love the area, and I just felt like it was a good fit for me. They're like a family, and I wouldn't be able to do it without them. They're always so encouraging, and they've just helped push me through everything I've gone through.
And at the start of the high school baseball season, a lot of times we get matchups between some teams that normally wouldn't face each other from different states. That's exactly the case this afternoon over in Joplin. Colgan baseball travels across state lines for its season opener. The Panthers face Joplin, who's 0-3, looking for its first win. David Bend gets the start on the mound for the Eagles. He's humming early. Top of the first, he gets a strikeout against the first batter he faces. Next batter goes down swinging as well. Bend keeps the Panthers scoreless in the first. Now this would quickly turn into a pitcher's duel. Colgan starter Lane Royal with a foul-tipped strikeout to end the first frame. Now to the top of the third, we're still scoreless. Lane Stoltz puts a good swing on this ball. It drops, and it gets away from the center fielder, but hang on, the Eagles catch him trying to stretch a single into a double. He's out at second. Joplin's bats heat up in the later innings. Eagles score 4 runs in the 6th, and as we come on the air, they lead 6-0 in the 7th. Just last night, Pittsburgh State women's basketball advanced to the Final Four, and at the same time, Gorilla fans also got some exciting news for the men's team. Mason English announces late on Monday night that he's committing to Pittsburgh State. English was a first-team All-State honoree in his senior year at Pittsburgh High School. That was in 2024. After graduating from PHS, English opted to attend Link Academy in Branson, Missouri for 1 year. That's one of the top basketball prep schools in the country, and he's also following in his older brother's footsteps. Marquis English played for the Gorillas for 2 seasons before graduating last spring. Closing things out with a look over at pro basketball, we're coming down the stretch of the regular season in the NBA. The Oklahoma City Thunder have already clinched the #1 seed in the Western Conference playoffs. They've still got 11 regular season games left to go, though. One of those being tonight on the road in Sacramento. OKC faces the Kings, who are in 9th place. Late tip-off. That one gets started at 9 p.m. Back to what I was talking about a little bit earlier with Mason English playing for the Gorillas. Yeah. Pretty cool situation that both those brothers grew up in the Pittsburgh area, played for the Purple Dragons, and both will play for the Gorillas.
And all those area fans are glad to be able to continue to watch them.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. A Joplin group rallies tonight ahead of next week's trip to the Missouri Capitol for Child Advocacy Day. Plus, a growing number of women's sports bars are a slam dunk during March Madness, and President Trump defends his national security team after a journalist mistakenly receives sensitive attack plans. Those stories, a lot more, of course, is coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Might have seen a Pittsburgh landmark getting a bath today. Crews at the Best Motel treated the nearly 100-year-old building to a much-needed exterior cleaning. The landmark is undergoing renovation as part of the Gorilla Rising project, and because everyone should get a shower every 100 years or so, whether they need it or not. It opened in 1927-ish.
Wow. It is a long time ago.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And it's the closest thing to a skyscraper in these parts.
That is true.
The weather, not going to get a shower at least for the next couple of days.
No, temperatures look pretty good once again for us tomorrow. 74, 80 on Thursday, but we are going to have some morning showers.
Final sports note.
The Royals win their spring training finale this afternoon. Now they have tomorrow off and then opening day this Thursday.
Really? Already? Yeah. Looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.